The Lost and Found Pony by Tracy Dockray. I didn't ask to be so small. When I was born, my mother towered over me. I couldn't wait to grow up. And when I did, I realized we were both small, but we could still run fast. Fast enough that the wind would tickle our manes. And even though we couldn't carry much, I knew that I would be just right for someone small like me. One day, I was washed and brushed and dressed up with a bow. I was going to be a girl's wish come true. When she saw me, the girl threw her arms around me and whispered that I was perfect, and I felt perfect. Nothing could be better than that day. Over time, I learned to jump with the girl upon my back. We loved jumping, and we won many competitions. With each blue ribbon, the girl's parents became more proud. Until one day, I came to a jump that was just too high. Everyone gasped as the girl tumbled into the dust. When she got up, she took my reins, and she told me it wasn't my fault. "That animal could have gotten you killed," her mother shrieked. "This is terrible. How can you possibly win on a pony like this?" The girl's worried parents led her away. I didn't see the girl for 2 weeks. I waited for my friend day after day, wondering what I had done wrong. Then I found out. The problem wasn't what I had done, but what I was. The girl wasn't allowed to ride me anymore because I was too small for her now. She had been given a big horse with a shiny, smooth coat that could run faster and jump higher than a tiny little pony. That evening the girl came into my stall. I was so happy she came back. I remembered her hugging my neck and saying, "Even though I can't ride you, I will never let you go. I will always love you." But how can a little girl change things? The next day, when the girl wasn't home, a man came and took me away. I was sad and scared to leave my home. After a long, dusty day on the road, we drove up to an enormous tent. I was unloaded and brought to an old trailer. A tiny man appeared, even smaller than the girl. He was to be my new owner. I was to be a circus pony. We were a team and everyone loved us. In the circus, being small was what made us special. Each night after the show, the man would feed me and groom me, all the while talking of our day in a soft, kind voice. The circus moved from town to town, and we now starred in the center ring. Yet even as the crowds cheered us, I always looked to the stands, hoping the little girl might be in them. While we were the heroes of the circus, the years passed quickly, but eventually I grew too old to jump through flaming hoops. Though I could still do many things people clap for, all the while I never gave up my search for the little girl. At first we hardly noticed the applause getting quieter as the crowds thinned, and then slowly it happened. The big top that held our circus seemed too big with its stands so empty. Over the years our audience had developed different tastes. Now they like staying home and playing video games and watching movies for fun. But what would become of us? The answer came soon enough. Our circus was to be sold off in bits and pieces. The elephants and exotic animals were sold to zoos all over the country. What would happen to me? The man came to whisper goodbye, for I belonged to the circus and I couldn't go with him. At that moment, my heart felt too big for my small chest, and I thought it might break. All the circus horses were carted off to be sold at auction. The horses there were like me, hobbly old things that had been around for a while. Most of them were sold and carried off in large trucks. No one noticed me for some time, but when it was finally my turn to be sold, I tried not to be scared. I remembered my life as a show jumper and a famous circus performer. I held up my head and tried to look as proud as a tiny, very old pony could. And then someone bought me. I didn't know what would happen to me, but I knew my heart could not stand being outgrown again. I saw a lady striding through the crowd. As she came closer and smiled, I realized it was my little girl. All these years I'd been searching the stands for her, but of course little girls grow up too. "Hello, my old friend," she said. "I knew that was you. Where have you been?" I couldn't answer her, but she hugged me and explained that after I was sold, she gave up competing, but never gave up her love of horses. She now runs her own stable, and I will live there and help the children who need extra care since I am small and slow and gentle. And here, I know I'll never be outgrown again. I will always have children who love to ride me and pretend that I am their very own dream come true. The end.